classes, what we do in writing is this. If we go to IS writing, I have something as a sample. I want you to do this from now on. For example, if you check IS writing sample 1 on page 231, you have the book. So please open your book, IS writing, page 231. 231. Okay, if you look at this writing, the question is, in some countries, young people have little leisure time and are under a lot of pressure to work hard in their studies. Forget about the question, just look at the prompt, that it is about the leisure time and young people which have a lot of pressure to work hard in their studies. Looking at this part, you can see, for example, some expressions. I read it for you. For example, some young people find themselves with very little leisure time. I typed it here. As you see, this expression is very, rather than saying young people these days have very little leisure time, you can write these days young people find themselves with very little leisure time. So this is very nice expression to be used. So we read it. I believe there are two main causes of this situation. The first is paternal pressure. I have typed paternal pressure. It's a nice expression and collocation that you can write in your writing. And the second is competition for university places. Competition for university places. Rather than saying they try to pass the university's entrance exam, you know that it is university places and there is a competition for that. So we can use this expression in our writing. Second paragraph, every parent wants to see his or her child do well in school and go on to have a successful career. This means that they exert pressure. They impose pressure. They exert pressure on their children to spend hours each day studying at home. Some even arrange extra tuition for their children. In my own country, it is not uncommon for young people to spend another 3 hours at small private schools after their usual day at the state school is over. As a consequence, so we can write it here. As a consequence, so it is very nice to be used in your writing when you want to come to the conclusion. Their leisure time is extremely limited, so I added extremely limited, and the pressure on them is considerable. It is considerable. You can write it. The second cause is related to higher education system. Each year there are many times more applicants to university than there are university places. The result of this is that only those students with very high grades manage to obtain a place, manage to obtain something. This contributes to the pressure on teenagers. So something contributes to something else, Mrs. Related. This contributes to the pressure on teenagers since they must work long hours to have any chance of success. One solution to the problem is for parents to be made aware of the effects of the pressure they put on their children. Schools should inform parents that too much pressure can lead to anxiety, lead to something. Something leads to something else. something leads to something else. And stress and depression. They should be shown ways in which they can help their children lead more balanced life. So to have balanced life, I have typed it with a reasonable amount of leisure time. Another effective measure. So effective measure another effective measure would be for the government to invest in the creation of more university places. This could be done by expanding existing universities or by building new ones. This would have the effect of easing competition for places, giving teenagers some of their precious free time back. So these expressions is for this type of writing, for example. So you need to list them and then have it in front of you. Try to use these in your writing. So one of the problems you have in your writing is lack of the beautiful structures and vocabulary and collocations. So imagine that you exert all these expressions in your writing. And after writing some samples, you will see that these are a part of your vocabulary knowledge you can use in your writing. So your writing can be modified and shaped very well. Yes?
Yes, that's
I,
great.
I want you to do it. So in number two, if I make it red, it is for the second part. Huh? I don't know. The last word here, I don't know which ones are for that, but it is clear that for sample 5, page 233, I have these. For sample 6, I have. I want you to make a list like this. Make a list like this. And finally, you can have some pages full of nice expressions and vocabularies. As much you repeat these, they become a part of your active knowledge. And after 1 month or 2 months, you will see that your writing has been changed dramatically. A very nice writing you are going to have ahead. Clear?
By the way, I like, yeah,
Yeah, I want you to do it, and you can send me after typing. We can check with each other to see whether this is nice or this is not nice to be used. And after a while, your writing would be changed very much.
yeah.
Can you do it? Yeah. So when I ask you to write something, you can go through it and then write in a very perfect way. So this is for today, if I don't make mistake. Let me open a new page for you. It's perfect. So this is your writing. This is page 2. This is page 3. So you have page 1 here. Mhm. Writing is very good because it can help you in all domains, vocabulary, grammar, uh, I know everything, you when you write something, you can understand your weak points and you can improve your writing. 307 words is perfect. Okay, let's look at your writing. Just give me a second to install my pen. Okay. So your topic is using a computer every day can have more negative than positive effects on children. Do you agree or disagree? Okay, you don't need to write this part. Don't bother yourself. Just if you write the prompt and the question, it is enough. So when you want to write, do you agree or disagree? The format that comes to our mind is you need to write a general statement, then detailed statement. Detail is your question, prompt. Then you should write it is agreed or disagreed, yes. And then you need to give two reasons. So reason one, you need to explain it and give example and conclude it. This is your first paragraph. Second paragraph is reason two, explain what you mean, then give an example, and then come to the conclusion. And finally, you need to write the general statement, paraphrase the question. Let me write question prompt. And then you can give a small summary what you said, or you can write about expectation or prediction. This is the format. If you write with this format, you can get at least 6, at least. So I want you, yes, one of the problems I see in your format is that this is the introduction completely, and this is the first paragraph. Yes.
Yes.
You left some space free here because of this word. Okay, now. Okay, read the general statement. Nowadays, read your introduction
Yes.
aloud.
Nowadays, there is a growing concern among parents about children using computers, and parents are getting more sensitive about their children's use of computers. These people hold the view that their children's use of computers is a waste of time, and most of the time it is the misuse of the computer. Coming to the conclusion that is not needed is a flawed understanding. In my opinion, computer-related knowledge is essential for the new generation in the 21st century. Furthermore, with the help of computers and the internet, all unsolvable questions in the children's brain can be answered.
Okay, okay. So hold the view. These
Hold.
people hold the view that their children's use of computers is a waste of time and waste of most of the time it is the misuse of the computer. Okay, coming to the conclusion. You shouldn't come to the conclusion here. Coming to the conclusion that is not needed is a flawed understanding. Okay, so this is it is agreed or this is disagreed. I prefer to write this rather than writing, for example, coming to the conclusion that it is not needed. I can say, for example, it is not wrong. It is not wrong. It is okay. But I write it is disagreed that. It is disagreed that because it said do you agree or disagree, I write it directly. It is disagreed that, for example, that is not needed, that computers are not needed. Are not needed. To disagree that computers are not needed and using them is a waste of time. It is disagreed that computers are not needed and using them is a waste of time. But this sentence again is okay. It's okay. In my opinion,
But
computer
uh,
related knowledge is
uh,
essential.
computer and computers. Is it if I write computer? Is it a grammatical grammar or mistake? For
Computer,
example, I it is disagreed that computer or computers. Is it grammar mistake if I
uh,
write
computer is a singular countable noun. When you have a singular countable noun, you need a modifier before that. You need here a computer. But you're not going to talk about a computer. You are going to give a general idea about something. When you give your general idea in English, you should make it plural. Computers
okay?
means generally speaking, computers. But when you say computer, you should say a computer. And it is not a computer, it is all the computers in the world. Yes? So you
Yes.
make it, for example, if you say teacher do not get enough salary, یعنی معلم حقوق کافی نمیگیرد. But you want to say teachers do not get enough. معلمان حقوق کافی نمیگیرند. Huh? You make it plural.
Plural.
Yes. So, coming to the conclusion that it is not needed is a flawed understanding. In my opinion, computer related knowledge is essential for the new generation and the 21st century. Furthermore, with the help of the computers and internet. Oh, okay. So, first paragraph.
The key to live in the 21st century is knowing the computer. These days, every single thing, sing. I write sings, but that's a sing.
It is saying.
Yeah. Every single thing related to the computer, and without related knowledge, it would be possible to survive. Uh, and it would impossible to survive, and there is no alternative for that until now. For instance, the, in the recent decades, computer-related knowledge is the most important part of hiring employees, and or even for online shopping. Everybody should have, yeah, yeah, everybody should have a basic knowledge about computer. Therefore, weighing up the cons and pros, computers seem an absolute need which can help children to improve their knowledge and prepare for a working community.
Mhm. It is very beautiful, very beautiful. Just you need to have a comma here. Before or if you don't write a sentence, you don't need a comma. But here, this is extra. Or even for online shopping, you added something. You added something, and then you start a subject, verb, object. Here you have everybody should have a basic knowledge. So you need a comma here. And because this is extra, you need a comma here. Yes, because you added something extra to the front of your sentence, you need two commas to separate. It is like parentheses that you separated. Okay, last paragraph from second paragraph
Yes,
from the
from the
resource
resource point of view, computer and the internet are computers. Should be computers. Is it right?
computers and internet.
and the internet are great invaluable resource to explore the world around children. By computer, children can understand and learn everything they want. Also, children who use internet to satisfy their curiosity uh, about diverse topics are already becoming independent learners. For example, children who want to be a professional in a specific field, there is a easy access to great deal of information in the internet. As a result, children can start their professional career earlier than before. In conclusion, while some parents have a negative view uh, the compute of the computer. Is it right?
Of computers or of the computer? Of computers.
Of computer, there are a lot of advantages to it or in it. Which one? To it or in it?
Okay, it's okay.
Okay. And prepare the person for the future. In the end, I strongly believe that children should use computers on a daily basis.
Mhm. In conclusion, why some parents have a negative view of computers, there are a lot of advantages to it and prepares the person. No, and no. Which, which prepare the person for the future. Okay. This writing was just excellent. I don't know what you have done. If I want to give you a score, your previous writings were here. For example, I can say, for example, 4.5. Now you are here. Your writing was here. It is plus 6.5. I see it here
Really?
in
I
yes,
can't.
6.5 and 7. It depends on the examiner. But I feel not less than 6.5 is your score. How much time did you spend for writing this writing?
Exactly for a for cited reason to and conclusion. That's now before starting this session. That's just 10 minutes takes that to write
10,
it.
10 minutes?
For reason to and conclusion, just reason and conclusion. That's take just 10 minutes.
Okay.
But for yesterday I had a headache, and I don't know why, but I couldn't write, and that's take much more than I imagined, 2 or 3 hours to, you know,
Write the first part of that.
yeah,
Okay,
intro and side reason one.
no problem, no problem. What I see, the result is just perfect, Yashar. I like this writing. I want this type of writing. And I see a lot of nice expressions in your writing. It is just perfect, just perfect. And keep going, huh? Just keep going. Do it again. And if you add the expressions I explained,
Yeah,
something, for
love
example,
it.
you could write contributes to something else. Here in your writing, there was something relate to something. You can write when computers contribute to the future success of the children, huh? You can add this expression in your writing and make it more attractive for the reader. But what I see is a very good writing. It means that you put a lot of effort working and learning on this skill. It is just perfect. And you sent me something else. What is this?
That is a book, sample book. That is like what is you said about the writing, and this is a 450 sample example of the writing,
Mhm.
and I love it, and I want to share it with you because it's
Example
very good, really.
450 by Rachel Mitchell. Okay. When the writer is not Iranian, I like it.
And that's its introduction, but
Take the place of any formal medical and professional advice. This is not meant to replace the need for independent medical, financial, legal, or other professional advice or services as may be required. Okay. The content and information of this will have been compiled from sources deemed reliable and it is accurate. to the best of the author's knowledge. Okay. Do you agree or accept all risks of using information presented inside this book? Okay, okay, okay. Sample 2. We just need to introduction.
Yes,
Sample 1. Do you agree that the advantages car bring outweigh the disadvantages? I want you to do something. Using cars has been becoming increasingly common in the recent years. You see, this is a very nice general statement. Although I think that it maintains some obvious harmful consequences, I strongly believe that the advantages of the car can outweigh its disadvantages. It is in format, it is poorer than our format, if you see. But you can use, for example, some expressions. On the one hand, we have it in our vocabularies. On the one hand, on the other hand, we have it here. Look,
yes,
we ha we have it here. For example, on the one hand, on the other hand, you see, I have it here. We can use ourselves. So, on the one hand, owning cars has a significant influence. For example, you can highlight this a significant influence. The significant influence highlighted on the environment. The preposition is on the environment. The first reason is that the growth in traveling by car can lead to. We have lead to. I just added with you. Remember? Rise in pollution, traffic jams, and accidents. More cars are likely to result in. More likely to result in. Are likely to result in. This is a very nice expression. Rocketing rate of pollutions. Rocketing rate means increases. It's very nice. Secondly, our independence on, we don't write our, independence on cars can lead to decrease in practices such as walking and cycling. People may have a higher chance of carrying more potential health risks like obesity and heart attacks. The format is not good. On the other hand, there are many reasons why people prefer to own cars. Firstly, it provides people, it's nice, means it gives the chance with the freedom of the movement, the ease of transportation, the ease of something is very nice expression.
what do you mean?
A car brings a significant prominent. Significant because we have significant here. It is not good to repeat, so he says prominent, that any other form of vehicles. For example, you can go from a destination to another destination and no time is wasted waiting for the bus or train. Therefore, we use these conjunctive adverbs, as you know. Time and distance are not barriers anymore. Barrier means mavane, obstacles anymore. Secondly, personal cars can give comfort while traveling compared to the public sports. Okay, you can use compared to in other writings as well, which are so crowded and disgusting. For instance, you can read books, listen or your favorite song, or even play with kids while you are in your own car, but all seem to be impossible on public transport. Finally, families can go together. This becomes especially helpful when there are elderly, the disabled, or even sick members in the families. In conclusion, having a car can lead to a few obvious problems, but I believe that owning a car is the best choice and the benefits that it brings about can outshine its drawbacks. Nice writing. Drawbacks. Okay. Uh, So this is a type of writing. You see, we can find some expressions and we can use them in our writings as well. But the format of this writing is not as well as we design our writing. For example, we did something last session with one of my students in our class. It's nice. Thank you for sharing this file with me. We can work with each other on these topics. In IS writing, I had a sample of advantage. Do you think advantages of charging people for admission to museums outweigh the disadvantages? So this is the same kind of question. Look at the introduction of that book. What was the name of the book? I forgot. Okay, let me open it again here. Downloads. IS writing task sample 2. Let me have it folder. Sorry. IS writing. Let me have it here. Okay, and I open this file. Okay, if you look at this first sample, okay, this is the first sample. Using cars have been becoming easy common in the recent years also. I think that it maintains some obvious harmful consequences. I still believe that the advance of the cars can outweigh the disadvantage. This is the introduction. And look at our introductions. See which one is better. Museums are those places which have been founded to increase the potential of conveying cultural, historical, educational, anthropological, and social heritages of former generations to the present and future ones. My general statement. While some museums devoted a sort of an admission charges for entry, some exempt people paying such charges. Having these charges can have some major benefits or disadvantages. In my opinion, the drawbacks of an entrance fee are eclipsed by its benefits in the sense that the income will be plowed back into operation and development of the museum. So you see, you wrote your opinion because it is do advantages outweigh, and I wrote the word eclipse. The eclipse, you know, eclipse is ماه گرفتگی خورشید گرفتگی ها. But here you can see the drawbacks eclipsed by its benefits. یعنی benefit سخت‌تر از drawback ده. And next, and in this writing it was good. I liked it. Shed the outshine. That it brings about what can outshine its drawbacks. It's nice. This is a very nice expression. It's a very nice expression. Then the last paragraph. In conclusion, the advantages of an admission fee are overshadowed by the benefits occurring from a stable source of income. Therefore, having weigh up the pros and cons you wrote in your writing, I am convinced that museums should charge an entrance fee for the sake of operation and development. You see, these green parts are those parts that we can use to make our writing better. Huh?
It's real. Some people, some teachers said pros and cons is less formal than
Yes.
advantage. Advantage.
Yeah. It's less formal, but the matter is that when you write advantages and disadvantages once, and next time you use drawbacks and benefits, the third time you don't have any other expression. You need to repeat or use somehow semi-formal or semi-informal words. So I prefer not to repeat and write cons and pros rather than writing advantage and disadvantage 2 times or 3 times. I prefer to write cons and pros for the third time using advantage and disadvantages rather than repetition. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay, what do we have for this session? Let me check. Let me write. First, we checked writing. Do you agree or disagree? Is checked. Yasha, we have studied two formats. Yes, to what extent? Yes.
Yes.
Do you agree or disagree? Okay. I want to work on reading, but I prefer to teach you another format first, then we can check our readings. Yes, agree? To what extent do you agree or disagree with my idea that I want to teach you another format?
Sorry, when I look in previous your lesson, I saw in the PowerPoint you had the inappropriate. That's I look at the grammar. That's inappropriate in
I may,
your
you
yeah.
may
That's
you think that
yeah.
I
That's a mistake
say
in the writing part. I don't know.
which power
That's agree and disagree part. You know that's a we couldn't find the reason to it. That's just reason one and introduction there. And
was
there,
this one?
yeah, yeah, I imagine that is, yeah,
Okay, where was it?
yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that is inappropriate. That's inappropriate. Was
Where is it? Vaccination against anti-hazard, the sanitation organization are founded to find an array of methods to help people keep healthy and so when and sometimes there is no alternative. So for instance, in the recent situation of COVID-19, all health system of countries for sure and make the appropriate vaccine. You mean this part?
no, that's not. I imagine
Some vaccinated all individuals the virus 10%.
no, that's not here. Imagine side one, reason one. Maybe it is reason one. Maybe
Let me check this introduction. Nowadays, there is a growing concern of the parents about vaccinating and getting vaccinations. Hold the view that spread of disease as it is not certain lies and come to the conclusion that it is not needed to understand as a nation generally for the
no.
white number. So we don't have it here. Maybe later I have changed it. Maybe it is
Yeah,
here. Maybe after teaching you, I
yeah.
started teaching for another person and I noticed the mistake and I changed it. I don't know. Here we don't have any problems. I don't have this one. Maybe in the conclusion, let's check. One of the most controversial is due to the side effects. Some parents are against the vaccination. They have vaccines and follow to understand because vaccination can act as most appropriate way to help the wave survive the pandemic for the more than easy to eradicate of in the past. It is expected that the vaccination say that the fundamental modern people survive. Okay, I can't see it. Please look at it again, and if you find it, highlight it or mark it and send it. Take a photo and send it to me. I will change it. Thank you very much for being very attentive. Okay, Yashar, do you agree with me that I teach you a new format of writing?
Yeah, absolutely. That is challengeable, but sometimes I want it because I saw some, great vocabulary there. And I imagine that is not look like a primary school writing.
Yeah. And that's why you, at the moment, I see the way that you write is very, very great. Some days ago, I was talking to K1. He called me and said, I miss you, I want to see you. And I said, one of your friends is studying English with me. I said, yeah, my friend's brother, Yashar. I said, Yashar is a gentleman. And he was happy to hear about you, that you are studying.
Wonderful.
Okay, let me give you which one? Double question or discuss both sides? I think discuss both sides is better for this time. We will study discuss both sides along with discuss both sides and give your opinion. And I will give you some topics because these are very frequent questions in IELTS. You have a question prompt and the question is discuss both sides. We have two types of these questions, discuss both sides or discuss both sides and give your opinion. Discuss both sides and give your opinion. Now, first discuss both sides. When the question is discuss both sides, you shouldn't involve your personal idea. If you do so, your paper will be suffer from this mistake very much. It means that you are going to lose a great part of your score, and you might get less than 6 because one of the aspects for scoring is task achievement, and you need to answer to the question directly. If you didn't pay attention and you involve your personal opinion when there is no need for personal opinion, so you are not going to get a good score. So here for writing discuss both sides, you need to write a general statement and rewrite the question prompt and tell the reader what you are going to tell them. Again, the second paragraph and third paragraph is like the other parts, like do you agree or disagree, or like to what extent do you agree or disagree. You need to restate side one, give reason, example, and conclude, and give side two, give reason, example, and conclude it. Then in your conclusion is exactly like, let me zoom it out and you can see, look, sentence one is the same, sentence two is the same. Here we say tell them what you will tell, here what you told them. Let's give the summary. Now, if you look at this question, we are going to write a general statement. Some parents believe that learning mathematics at the school is redundant, not needed, and should not be taught, while others believe that it should remain a fundamental subject whether or not it is used later in life. So I write a general statement like this. Whether or not to teach mathematics at the school is becoming increasingly controversial. Yashar, one of the words that you can write for discuss both sides and discuss both sides and give your opinion, do you agree or disagree, to what extent do you agree or disagree, is the word controversial. Controversial means some people argue about it. Some people accept, some people reject.
Is
So it,
addictive?
it is, it is. Whether or not to teach mathematics at a school is becoming increasingly controversial. Then rewrite the question prompt. You can say in side one, mathematics at the school is redundant. This is some people. Side two say, no, it is fundamental. Now, I retype or rephrase or rewrite the same sentence. While some parents think that learning mathematics is no longer relevant, other parents maintain that it is an important subject. So some parents believe it is redundant. We say it is no longer relevant. Some people they say it is fundamental. Some other parents maintain that it is an important subject. Now you need to tell your reader this essay will discuss both sides of the argument in depth. This essay will discuss both sides of the argument in depth. So this is your introduction. After the introduction, you need to say side one. What is side one? In side one, some parents believe that it is redundant, so we rewrite it. There are a growing number of parents who believe that mathematics should be removed, is redundant and should not be taught, removed as a school subject because it has become unimportant. You should say why. Imagine there's a because they have reason to believe that mathematics is no longer needed as a human skill. Why? As it is now typically done by computers. Example, everything from simple addition and subtraction to complex mathematical equations are now computer operations. So, therefore, these people have good reason to believe that mathematics is no longer a relevant subject in a school. So you can write therefore, so as a matter of fact, and then the other side is the opposite. So you can repeat this sentence in contrast to parents who wish to remove mathematics as a school subject. اصلا با جمله قبل از همیشه obviously writing لحظه yazası در مقابل با افرادی ki bu paragraftaydılar bizi afrad vardılar ki nəzəri bərəksiləri vardı. In contrast to parents who wish to remove mathematics as a school subject are those who believe that it is a fundamental part of learning despite its usefulness. Why? After all, mathematics provides people with a different conceptual way to view the world. Bir dənə دیدگاه ادراکی verir برای دیدن دنیا. نه for example, knowing how to add, subtract and divide, albeit calculations that can be done on a phone, علیرغم calculations are essential daily skills. You need it everywhere. For example, when you buy something, forget about calculations that you can do on your phone. Adding, subtracting, dividing are essential daily skills. For these reasons, there are a number of parents who believe mathematics should remain. Now, conclusion. You need to write your general statement. Again, should mathematics be removed from school syllabuses? Some people believe that again, some part. A number of parents think that mathematics is outdated and therefore redundant. Other parents disagree and think that mathematics is still relevant. Say your reader what you said. We say this essay discussed the various reasons why parents hold these points of view and whether mathematics should remain a part of students' school studies. Finished. This is your conclusion. Did you understand it? Do you have any question? It's very easy, very easy.
In a disagree and agree, we have a same two reasons, but for what extent and this type discuss both sides. We have a two sides in a contrast. Is it right?
Yes. If I want to give you a summary, I can say when you have now I give you 4 formats. Format 1 is to what extent? To what extent? In format 2, we say, do you agree or disagree? In format 3, we say, discuss both sides. In format 4, we say, discuss both and write your opinion. So we have already studied these 4 formats. In format 1, to what extent, you need to write a general statement. In this one, you need to write a general statement. In this one, you need to write a general statement. In this one, you need to write a general statement. So no difference. In question 2, rewrite the prompt. In this one, rewrite the prompt. In this one, rewrite the prompt. In this one, rewrite the prompt. So you see there is no difference. Into what extent writing? After writing the prompt, you should say it is, you need to write on the spectrum. completely, okay, agree or disagree? Agree or disagree? But you don't write I completely agree or I completely disagree. You should write, for example, the topic is about vaccination. You say vaccinating is absolutely, completely needed. In this one, you should say it is agreed or it is disagreed and give your opinion. Then you need to give two reasons. Reason one and reason two. Give two reasons here briefly. And discuss both sides. After writing this, you should write this essay will discuss both sides. Will discuss both sides. Here, you give your opinion. You say, in this essay, for example, in this essay, I am determined to discuss both sides and provide my idea through explanation and examples. So you see the surface is almost the same. In introduction, they differ. Here in paragraph 1, you need to write side 1, explain, reason, conclude. Side 1. Here, do you agree or disagree in paragraph 1? You have reason 1, because you have reason 1 here. Then explain, give example, and conclude reason 1. Reason 1. Here in discuss both sides, in paragraph 1, write side 1. It is like this one. Side 1, explain, example, conclude. Here again, this is exactly like this. In paragraph 1, you have side 1, explain, example, conclude. What about second paragraph? In paragraph 2, side 2, explain, example, conclusion. In paragraph 2, reason 2, explain, example, conclude. In paragraph 2, side 2, explain, example, conclusion. Again, paragraph 2, side 2, example, explain, example, conclude. Then in your conclusion, to what extent? A general statement, rewrite, give your opinion. Here, general statement, rewrite the question prompt, reason 1 and reason 2 briefly. Write about expectation or prediction. It is expected that, it is predicted that. Here in side 1, general statement, rewrite the question. This essay scrutinized, for example, scrutinized both sides in depth. You don't need to write your idea. Here, general statement, rewrite the question. Uh, you can give a small summary, it is not needed, and then give your opinion. In my opinion, write your opinion here because it says give your opinion. This is briefly paraphrasing of all four formats that you can have when you want to write your IELTS writing. I send it to you. You can type it and have it in a better way and you can understand it. So if I want to talk about discuss both sides, I talked about it and discuss both sides and give your opinion. For example, one of the indispensable sectors of each society, I think the question is here. Page 232. Some people think that museums should be enjoyable places to entertain people, while others believe that the purpose of museum is to educate. Discuss both sides and give your opinion. This is my writing. I have written a general statement. One of the indispensable sectors of each society which boosts the culture and information of people can be museum. Now, I paraphrase the question. While some individuals hold the view that museums should be funny and entertaining places, others consider these places as an educational awareness. Now, in this essay, I am determined to scrutinize both sides of view and provide my own idea. You should write this sentence. Now, side one. Some people believe that museums should be enjoyable places. Why? These people claim so because museums do not have enough visitors, and by doing so, they can attract a lot of people. For example, by providing some small playgrounds for children or small coffee shops for adults to enjoy a coffee besides those antique heritages of the ancestors, they would be more motivated to visit these places. Furthermore, they can hire some leaders with historical costumes to speak about the things which can be found in the museum. As an example, it can be interesting for people to hear about the Persian culture in Louvre Museum in Paris, in Persian part of the mentioned museum, from a person like as Kurosh, the ancient king of Persia. For example, I don't know the English name for Kurosh, so I wrote Kurosh. It is not important because I wrote it with capital K. Therefore, these people justify their idea of making museums funny and interesting places. Now, I need to write the other side. However, there are still those people who believe that the purpose of museum is not entertainment but education. Why? They think museums are founded at first or at first place to convey the cultural and historical information to people who are interested in knowing about the past. In addition, they feel, here I wrote furthermore, here I changed it to in addition. In addition, they feel that an educational place should not necessarily be a funny place. Yet it should have a serious atmosphere. For instance, the primary goal of a school or university is education, and the founders try to set the atmosphere for optimal result. Museums are considered as such places. So, as a result, as a result, these people mhm. şey okşamadı. Ah, sonuçta.
Selamünaleyküm.
eləmirəm. Çün highlight eləmişəm, elə ona görə gəlir xeyli. Buradakı çövürmür rəngi. Bunlar da hamısı altı, bu geri ilə görə. Aha. It is better now. So as a result, these people believe museums are special places for those who are interested in the history and art by themselves, and it is not for people who are not keen on the art and culture and just go there to spend time and entertain themselves. So, conclusions. General state museums are those special places for maintaining the past and introducing the past culture. Question prompt. Some people are in favor of creating happy and exciting atmosphere in there. On the contrary, there are some who disagree them and believe that disagree with them and believe that these are special places for expanding education. In my opinion, in my opinion, by adding some fun to museum, people are encouraged to visit these places, and along with having some fun, they may learn a lot of educational issues. Writing məsələn 8.5-dən az versələr namərdlik ediblər. 9-luq writing-də bu kamilən müşəxəs. Page 232. If you have any questions.
No.
Okay, I taught you two formats. For next session, I expect you to write some samples. The topic is not important for me. You can write and send me as many writings as you like, okay? So let me write, discuss, and opinion. So four types of writings, you know now. Okay, what about your listening, Yasha? What have you done for your listening section?
You know, I listen to much more, podcasts and other things to every day. I had a real life English app, so most of the time I listen to them because that's what's that script? Say script has a script, and I can even watch what they say. But most of the time I listen to them. Also, that this application has created opportunity to students to talk to each other. Most of the time I talk with several people from all over around the world, and that's because my listening, I don't think too bad, but it's not too good most of the time because it's not because I couldn't listen, understand. Because when I write, my concentration to the listening sometimes I lost the concentration on the listening. Sometimes, but also sometimes for a specific speaking, when four speakers talk to each other, it is hard to understand which one are talking and to realize which one wants to, suggest something, especially for a third part in the listening when we, listen to four speakers, I make mistakes.
Yes, thank you for nice explanation. I believe that if you want to improve your listening, this is one of the ways that you do it is completely correct. Another way that you need to do is directing your listening toward IELTS listening, because understanding what they say is one aspect, and answering the question is another aspect. To do so, you need two books to be covered. One of them is Listening Extra. You need to buy this book or download this book. I think I have the PDF of that, but you need to find the Listening Extra. Where is it? You need to find it's here. I send it to you. You need to find its CD online. You can find it. You can, yes, this book is not available. You need to print it. Print it and listen to it. And I don't know. You need to do it very fast, very, very fast. So don't waste time on listening this book. Try to, there are 18 units, try to finish it in 18 days. My idea. Even if you listen to 2 units every day, you can finish it in 9 days. So don't hesitate doing this book very fast because you need to answer to the question. As you mentioned, you have some problems understanding people, more than one, and this will help you to compensate that.
Also, some part, also in some part, which is the long paragraph, and I couldn't understand most of them. When I want to read, I have a stress, and I couldn't understand the meaning of them most of the time. So when the speaker speak about which one is true, for example, choose two of them. For example, five sentence and two of them correct and you have a client, that's hard for me. Uh, Last session I said about it in a listening section in a 10 to 20. That's the same topics, and I couldn't find the answer. You know,
Mhm. I got.
sometimes because I struggle on a reading the reading and comprehend to what they say. Then the speaker start to speaking, and uh, that's a good trouble for me.
Mm, I got the point. I got the point. No problem. I'm sending you another file. Practice. You need practice as much as possible. This is another book that we need to have. If I can send it, I don't know. From my book, sending a file from my book is not easy. You see, it creates problems for me. Okay, I can deceive it. I can have it here. Uh,
Is it control copy or control V? Is it possible?
have it here. I deceive it. I am the master of cheating, you know. Okay. Yes. Now I prefer to open a new file here and write listening, and have this extra listening here and this one here. I sent this file to you and I want to download the listening of this book, the audio. I want you to listen to this book. It is very, very nice. We will do it with each other, the first chapter. But this listen here is harder than listening extra. It is even harder than IELTS.
Oh,
So my recommendation for you is first do this. Uh, it is in my download now. I think if I go there, yes, it's here. And I will tell you what it is, for example. But I wonder whether I can send it here or not. I will try it. In teaching, we had listening. Uh-huh. And in it bothers me, you see. Listening. I should come here. Okay. So if I play the first CD.
Listen here.
Okay. Listen here. It says very strongly. Listen here. Okay. Can do desktop. Listen, teaching. Okay, listening. This is the book. Actually, imagine that you are going to answer to this question. Let me make it larger and this one a little bit smaller. In part A, do you find it easier to remember facts or figures? It's not important. We are going to listen to this part. The teacher wants to arrange accommodation for a group of students on a farm. Listen to this phone conversation and check the correct sentences. You have 8 sentences, okay? You can listen and say whether they are correct or not correct. I want you to listen carefully because it is not
By
easy.
Claire West.
Go on.
First published by Georgian Press Jersey Limited, 1999. Reprinted and published by Cambridge University Press, 2010. This recording is in copyright.
Unit 1, B. Hello, can I help you?
Oh, hello. Is that Millhouse Barnes?
It's Millhouse Farm, but we own the barns, yes.
Oh, you're the owner, Mrs.
Jane Fletcher. Mrs. Jane Fletcher. Fletcher.
Right, thanks. Well, I'd like to book a largish group of students from York High School into the Barns for a few nights in July, if the price is reasonable.
We charge £4 a night per student.
Oh, well, that's very good. What does that include exactly?
Well, all the facilities are very basic. The barns are big, clean areas with wooden floors, so there's lots of space to sleep. No bathrooms or hot water, of course, just cold water for washing.
I see. A bit of a shock for the students. And what about food?
They do their own cooking. They'll have to bring sleeping bags and their own food with them.
Right. That sounds great. Well, I've got 40 students.
14, did you say?
No, 40. And we'd want to stay for 3 nights. Or is it 4? No, I was right the first time.
When exactly would this be?
From the 17th to the 19th of July, leaving on the 20th.
Yes, we can manage that. What time will you be arriving?
Well, it depends. 2:30, I should think. No, more like 3 in the afternoon.
It'll cost you £480 then, and we'd like you to pay by cheque 6 weeks before you come. York High School, you say? I've put it down in my book.
That's fine. It's just what we want. Thank you very much, Mrs. Fletcher, and I'll be in touch just as soon as I get.
Okay, how was it, Yasha?
I realized I can understand all the meaning of what she said and he said, those people said. But when I want to read this paragraph, my attention goes concentration focusing on the speaking. Those people get a deterioration type of.
Okay. So I got the point.
2, 6, and 7. All right, 2, 6, and 7. The answer.
No, it is your problem is with your method of listening, not the listening itself. You should come here at the end of the book. And at the end of the book, you have 1B, unit 1B. And here you need to listen again.
Listen Here by Claire West. First published by Georgian Press, Jersey Limited, 1999. Reprinted and published by Cambridge University Press, 2010. This recording is in copyright.
Unit 1, B.
Hello, can I help you?
Oh, hello. Is that Millhouse Barnes?
It's Millhouse Farm, but we own the barns, yes.
Oh, you're the owner, Mrs.
Jane Fletcher. Mrs. Jane Fletcher. Fletcher.
Right, thanks. Well, I'd like to book a largish group of students from York High School into the Barns for a few nights in July, if the price is reasonable.
We charge £4 a night per student.
Oh, well, that's very good. What does that include exactly?
Well, all the facilities are very basic. The barns are big, clean areas with wooden floors, so there's lots of space to sleep. No bathrooms or hot water, of course, just cold water for washing.
I see. A bit of a shock for the students. And what about food?
They do their own cooking. They'll have to bring sleeping bags and their own food with them.
Right. That sounds great. Well, I've got 40 students.
14, did you say?
No, 40. And we'd want to stay for 3 nights. Or is it 4? No, I was right the first time.
When exactly would this be?
From the 17th.
IELTS is like this. IELTS is like this. He said, no, 40. This is one part. And we'd want to stay for 3 nights. Or is it 4? No, I was right the first time. It means that he went back to 3. The IELTS is like this. They give something, then they change their idea, then they confirm the first answer or the second answer. This is very, very important. So I don't want to waste your time. You need to listen like this. After listening to this, you need to listen again to the part without
10.
the script.
This record.
Without the script this time. Look, not looking at the part. Look.
Hello, can I help you?
Oh, hello. Is that Millhouse Barnes?
It's Millhouse Farm, but we own the barns, yes.
Oh, you're the owner, Mrs.
Jane Fletcher. Mrs. Jane Fletcher. Fletcher.
Right, thanks. Well, I'd like to book a largish group of students from York High School into the Barns for a few nights in July.
So we have large and largish. We learned that ish is something that we add to adjectives to show quite. Rather than say quite large, we say largish. Quite fat, we say fattish.
If the price is reasonable.
We charge £4 a night per student.
Oh, well, that's very good. What does that include exactly?
Well, all the facilities are very basic. The barns are big, clean areas with wooden floors, so there's lots of space to sleep. No bathrooms or hot water, of course, just cold water for washing.
I see. A bit of a shock for the students. And what about food?
They do their own cooking. They'll have to bring sleeping bag.
You see, this time, this part was sort of easier for you to understand, yeah? This was sort of easier. Let me see whether I can send it via this part. Sure, do you have my Telegram channel?
No.
Okay. Give me a second. Give me a second. I see whether I can activate my VPN. Done. Nice. Then Telegram. In Telegram, I have a channel, Heravi Announcement and Material. I don't know how I can share my link to you. It is here. I can say share the link. No, I don't have it. I can do this. Copy link. I can send it to you. Sure. Paste. Oh, what is this? No. No. This is not what I wanted to send. This is my email. How can I delete it? Okay, let me go. This is not what you need. I can send it. I can delete it. Delete. I deleted for you. You don't need this one. Sorry. I want to send the link of this for you. I can't get the copy of it. Do you have Telegram? Sure.
Yeah.
This is your Telegram. I think
It's my 0937.
I sent you the link. I don't know. You can check it. Now I want to send this book to Telegram. This book. Listen here. Along with its listening, I compress it to compress this in here audio. Okay, and I send this one as well. You can get both of them here, okay? And we have the grammar book here. You can have other material, IELTS speaking tests, for example, with a lot of information. You can check them. And I want to send lesson extra, but I don't have the listening file of this book. You can get it from the Telegram channel. I don't know why I can't get the link. I give the link from the persons I have already shared. I think I have shared it with. Okay, I have it now. Yeah, sure. Paste. Okay, now you have this, the link of this. I sent it to you, okay? You can go and get it from that. Okay, listen to this, listen here. Listening extra, you can download it online, and listen here, you can download it as well. And I send it to you in Telegram. You can check it and improve your listening as well. Listening is very, very important for us. After that, listen to the listening tests you have in IELTS exam, but it is earlier. Okay, if you have any questions or comments, Yashar, I'm at your service. Otherwise, for this session, we are going to work on your reading.
Sergey, I want to know about the ing grammar, all of the grammar type of the ing. Also, the grammar of the, for example, you said the door of room, but people's problems, for example. I want to know the grammar of that, all of them. Yes, and the third one is you said before how to collect the word.
Do you have my screen?
Yep.
Okay. About the grammar of the genitives, means possessives. When it is a person, I say Yashar kar. You should say Yashar's car. But when it is not a person, I say house door. You should say the door of the house. Finished. This is the only grammar, the all of the things that is in your mind. So when it is human, apostrophe S. When it is not human, without apostrophe S. It is clear. It is the. But about the grammar part, you asked me, we need a lot of time. Verbals. Uh, For knowing about the verbals, I can give you a brief introduction. And you see, we need a lot of time to teach this. It is not, your question is not very short. It's not a very short answer. But just I give you a hint, then I will ask you to study yourself. Next session, we will review with each other. In English, we have a subject, verb, and object. This subject should be a noun and this object should be a noun. Sometimes you need to write a verb instead of the subject. You can't. You need to change it to ing. You need to change it to ing. Or sometimes you need to use the verb instead of the in the place of the object. You can't. You need to change it to different forms with ing, to form, or bare infinitive. When it is the subject, you can have verb plus ing or to plus verb. When it is the object, you can have verb plus ing, to plus verb, or simple verb, bare infinitive, we say. So when you use the verb as the subject, like learning English, you need to add ing to that. Or instead, you can say to learn English, the rest of your sentence. But if it is the end of in the place of the object, shortly I can show something like that. You can use an ing verb and bare infinitive. For example, I want to learn English. It is like this. I enjoy learning English. I let you look at my photos. You should know that it is due to the first verb. This is the nature of the verb that determines what type of verb we need to use. Gerund, infinitive, or bare infinitive. So I want to learn. It is because of want that needs an infinitive after itself. I enjoy needs a gerund, ing form, and let needs a bare infinitive without to. There are some verbs we use both of them without difference in the meaning. I started or I began learning English has the same meaning when I started to learn English. And with some verbs we have difference in the meaning. I stopped smoking means I do not smoke anymore, and I stopped to smoke because I waited somewhere to have a cigarette. We have causative verbs. I'm not going to talk about them. We are going to talk about the verbals in another separate session. But if you look at this part, after these verbs, you use infinitive. For example, I agree to come to your home. I decided to buy a car. After these verbs, we use to. After these verbs, we use again to with the object. I help you to buy a car. After these verbs, we use object and verb. I ask you to help me. You can read the rest of that. As complement, for example, I am happy. It is adjective and complement to see you. I am proud to do something. And after this verb, we use ing form of keep doing something. I can't help laughing or something like that. These verbs without any change in the meaning. I like to learn English or I like learning English have the same meaning. Yasha, you see, this is just introduction. I'm not teaching it.
Yeah,
After
yeah,
we have to change in the meaning. I forgot bringing my keys. I should not forget to bring my keys. I forget or I forgot remembering. I forgot bringing my keys. یعنی اول عمل کلید برداشتنه بعد یادم رفته. But I should not forget to bring یعنی باید یادم باشه که فراموش نکنم. So یعنی بردارم کلید هم عمل دوم. You can read here. I remember. I'm not going to teach it now because it is not the time and with the all explanations. After these groups, we use gerund form because they have prepositions. After preposition, we use ing form. Just learn that we have to here, adjust to, look forward to, object to, refer to. You should know that after to, we don't use ing, but when it is adjust to, look forward, object to, and refer to, we use ing form. Accustomed to, grateful to, essential to, and used to. Used to has its own grammar. You see, your question was a very nice question because it needs about half a session to make everything clear for you. So I sent this file to you. Where did it go? And next session, I will explain the verbals for you. No problem. If you are interested, I can teach verbals. Verbals is very soon. It's not time for you to learn about the verbals, but no problem. If you are interested, you can have it in your mind. Perfect. Any other comment or question? So I write it to teach verbals next session. Yaşar can, suali, əmri, fərmanışı olsa buyurun, olmasa
Qozu armasınızdır. Beyvaxtda da qaldı, şərməndə.
da 5 dəqiqə belə başlayalım o bilsin. Mersi, qurbanım.
Mersi, təşəkkür. Xuda.